All right. Welcome in, everyone. We're here with Bryan from Alpine Gold. He's going to be discussing exactly what that is and how we can use it to make transactions, use it as investment, and use it as trade as well. Um, but first, let's go to Ignacio so he could do a prayer for us and for the community.
Now we just
And he
lost
just
him.
dropped. uh, right when we were going to him. All right. Well, why don't you introduce yourself, Bryan, until
Yeah,
Ignacio gets back?
sounds great. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for having me. My name is Bryan Juries. I'm the branch manager here for Alpine Gold Exchange in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We are a precious metals option for people. We do a cash alternative. We do a vaulting banking alternative. I'm sure we'll get into all of that. I kind of service the whole Midwest. But just this last weekend, I was in Vegas. So anywhere I need to be, promoting the value of sound money.
That sounds good. Yeah, both Mitchell and Ignacio dropped. But all right, you want to give us a prayer, Ignacio?
No, he's rubber banding again.
Yep. Yeah, Ignacio's getting bad service right now. That's unfortunate. Are you there, Ignacio?
Yes.
Yeah, it's still roboting.
What about now?
Yeah, it's still roboting a little bit.
Oh well, I guess we'll just have to go without him.
Yeah, he's got bad service. He's in like the Rancho Cucamonga area, up on top of a mountain, so that's
Okay.
probably why. Out in California, good old commie fucktard state. But
I think they'd have better
go
internet.
ahead.
Here, in lieu of
Go
that,
ahead.
I'll give us one. I'll give us a prayer.
All right,
All right.
go for
Dear
it.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this opportunity to come forward as business individuals of the trucking community and the precious metals community. Father, we seek your inspiration for further collaboration on how we can help this country come to an understanding of sound money and how we can gain better clarity against the looming digital currency craze and how we can maintain the safety of our financial futures going together as a nation for the betterment of all included. We say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah, Ignacio's back. Welcome back, Ignacio, for about the fifth time. um, let's see if your mic is actually working yet. If not, don't worry about it. We'll just keep going, and hopefully it'll work sooner or later. Try your mic, Ignacio. I don't think you can hear me. Good old technology, right? Go ahead, Bryan. Why don't you explain what Alpine Gold is and
Yeah.
how we can use it.
Sure. So where I'll start off is the cash alternative. So if you guys haven't seen these before, this is called a gold back, super fractional piece of gold, 1/1000th of an ounce of gold. Now, there's 9 states that have a gold back series. All that matters is the gold, that anything that you see that is gold in these is actually gold. Now, they, in vacuum deposition chambers, ionize the gold down to exact amounts, put it in between 2 pieces of polymer. The whole point of this is to keep a cash alternative. They're trying to push us away from cash. You mentioned the digital system. I go to the airport. I go to a local football game here in South Dakota. Nobody accepts cash. During COVID, cash was dirty. We're trying to keep an option alive in sound money, that you can have a private transaction in a sound asset. These were invented back in 2019. One gold back was equal to $2 fiat. Today, one gold back is $7.76 within our system. And there's smaller, bigger ones. We've even gotten down to a quarter gold back, which is closer to $2 worth. There's a half gold back. The whole point is, when fiat money fails, which it has 100% of the time in the history of our planet, what do people run to? Sound assets that have been around for 5,000 years, gold, silver, land. Well, people start trying to spend these things. 1 ounce of gold is $4,300 right now. What if you need to buy something smaller? Bread, smaller transactions. They're fungible. So 50 of these is exactly the same amount of gold as a 50. You can make change in them. There's over 5,500 merchants nationwide that will accept these as a cash alternative. That's more than any crypto on the planet, or any crypto in the United States. So people love sound money. It's easy to see why. If you would have accepted them in 2019, you've almost 4 times your value in sound money. That's half of what we do. That, like I said, there's 9 states that have a series, soon to be 2 more. Out of all places, here within the next month, California is getting a limited run. They're getting the smaller denominations. People in California, not everybody's crazy. There are a lot of freedom-loving people there that are trying to bring this there. So there's going to be a limited California run. And then early next year, Colorado's been announced as well. South Dakota here has one. Utah's where this all started. Nevada, New Hampshire, Wyoming, Florida, Arizona, and Oklahoma are the other ones, but they can be spent anywhere. People are using these there's merchants that'll accept them in China, in Canada. It doesn't really matter. The point is the gold. That's the cash alternative. We also do a banking alternative where you can vault with us. The vault is in Alpine, Utah. We do legal tender metals. So gold eagles, gold buffaloes, silver eagles, or these gold backs. Now, why would you vault those with us? Any savings account on the planet, why would you hold fiat cash? We've all seen it. We all got $1,200 checks from COVID. My grocery bill's quadrupled since then. The inflation is eating up the dollar faster than you can spend it. So if you would have done the opposite, we started our branch here almost 3 years ago. Gold was $1,700 an ounce. If you would have put wealth with us in gold, you would have almost, at some points of the year, you would have tripled your amount. We have options where you can compound and grow as well. Storing wealth in sound assets. That's what we major in. And I'll stop there because I'm sure we'll go deeper into both of these things. But that's essentially what we do in the quickest explanation possible.
So, one thing. So President Trump signed major digital asset measures, including the Genesis Act, right? So how does Alpine Gold, I don't know if I want to say combat that, or what's your thoughts on it?
So we still have freedom. These are legal tender metals. That's why we do legal tender. It is minted by the U.S. government. Technically, you can spend these within the United States. Don't, because 1 ounce Gold Eagle has a $50 price on it. They'll take it at Wells Fargo, but it's worth $4,300. That's why we do it. It's within the laws of the land. You can still transact in this. Everything we do is physical. Now, I cannot tell you for sure what's happening with the digital world coming. The government's made gold holding illegal in the past. I don't know if they'd be able to do it again. But the whole point is prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Why would you preserve your wealth in a crypto right now or in cash? You might get a less than 2% return on a savings account, but inflation's 10%. So it's storing your wealth in areas while we still can. I have no idea what the future looks like, but it is physical metal that is held in a trust. It's not tied to a social security number as well. So it's a very private way to hold wealth in a sound asset, and it's 100% insured by private insurance. So, no telling what the government's going to do. They're obviously wanting to push us to a digital world. I would too if I was an all-controlling government. They can see everything. They can tax everything. Look at what they're doing in China. To combat that, really put your money in sound assets. That's what wealthy people are doing. There's more gold purchasing happening now since Donald Trump has become a president than there ever has. And they're probably positioning themselves, whoever has the most gold, whenever the currency system, whatever the dollar dies or whatever it is, that's the reason we were the reserve currency of the planet for so long. We had the most gold. They want that option in the future.
Right. And I do know that there's been a lot of talk about like Bitcoin and all the digital currency, crypto, and that's a big part of what Trump's been pushing. So so are you saying Alpine Gold could be the digital currency?
So nothing about us is digital. We do physical metals.
Okay.
So we do not like digital. We don't like fiat. That's the whole point of our dollar. Why is $100 worth $100? Because they tell you it is. It used to be backed by the metals behind it. It was a gold-backed currency. That's what my grandfather's generation, when he could have one job, his wife could stay home, he could have 6 kids, he could afford everything, because you could only have so many dollars in existence as you had gold or silver backing it. Now, we're not a crypto. We are not digital. We have a digital platform, but whenever you do any transaction, you are working with physical metals. And that's the powerful thing, because if the world goes to hell and you are nervous about anything, you can withdraw the holdings, have them sent to your front door. They're all physically there. That's the beautiful thing. You're like, whereas other companies, it might be a digital version of a gold coin or something like that. We don't know where this is all heading, but sound assets are where you want your wealth, as opposed to a dying fiat dollar. Crypto, you might hit the lottery with a couple of cryptos. They're not going to tell you which ones beforehand. But for me, what I'm saving for my kids in the future, is precious metals. It's been around for 5,000 years.
Right. So the goldbacks are basically a alternative for the federal currency that we currently use.
Yeah, it's a super fractional piece of gold. You can look at videos melting these down.
Right.
They're the quarter, the half, the one. It's like grains of sand worth of gold. It's the way you can hold it and not lose it. And it also is measured out. You can make change with it. That's the whole point, is a cash alternative. Now, maybe it's for people, maybe it's not. With our system as well, like I said, we're vaulting legal tender metals. You can spend these within the United States if you don't want it to be physical, because you don't know what to do with it afterwards. Like I said, every account is set up as a trust automatically. So it's private. It's not tied to a social security number. So I just did this. I bought a cow for my freezer here in South Dakota. The farmer likes silver eagles. Why wouldn't he? Silver eagles have been around for a long time. Everybody loves them. I had him set up an account with us. All I have to do, it's similar to Venmo. I put in his email address, how many Silver Eagles I'm sending. It's an immediate digital transaction, but it physically moves in the vault. And he can withdraw them, exchange them, liquidate them, whatever he wants to do. It's a private transaction in real assets as opposed to digital.
Okay. So even with those transactions, if I remember right, you can actually transfer that into your own personal banking account, right?
Yes. So
Like
that
credit union or Bank of America, all the big name banks or whatever bank anyone uses.
Yeah. So that is the
And
beautiful
the
thing.
TrueLink card.
Yep. So back in January,
The
if you
TrueLink
guys
card.
Yep. Sorry, I don't mean to talk over you. I think I'm delayed here, but basically, that's the nice thing is you can use it as you need fit. In January, if you guys tried to sell any silver or gold, $120 an ounce for silver, gold was $5,500 an ounce. I was the only person within the tri-state area that left their doors open, that kept buying. With us, you don't look around for the nearest coin shop to screw you over the least. You log into your account. How much do you want to liquidate? Next business day rates is what it does. So next business day, and then you can wire it to your bank account. You can send yourself a check, or like Mitch said, we do have prepaid Visa debit cards that you can link to your account. So you can load funds onto those, spend it, pull the money out of the ATM. Just gives you quicker access to this stuff. If you want to go back to fiat, which personally I don't. I only keep as much fiat as I need.
Right. Well, Mike, you got any questions?
No.
So
Okay, that was short.
Just to go over,
I have some more stuff to go back and forth.
Right.
Unfortunately, I've got to be the one here to get this this Walmart load taken care of. So you guys are just going to bear with me till I get part of the truck stop in a moment.
Sure. Well,
and that's why I was going to Mike and see if he had any questions. Because I already got my questions.
I guess I could ask a few. Do y'all sell like bulk gold?
Absolutely. I mean, you can buy from us. We do have some generic sales on our website as well for things that we brought in, collectible coins. But the whole point is spendable gold. We want to do legal tender. We are gold. We are advocates in sound money. We want to spend this stuff because anytime you turn this back into fiat dollars, then you have to worry about capital gains tax. We're never going to tell on you. We're not a bank. We're a bank alternative, but that's a worry. So we do other things. We have equity lines of credit you can get for the metals backing it. So if you've been stacking for years and years and years, and you want to do things like buy a house or buy some land, you can bring your metals in with us. We do an equity line of credit. You pay it back. It does not technically qualify as a sale. You don't have to worry about capital gains. That's one really big thing. The thing I'm doing for my kids, I have an almost 6-year-old, almost 4-year-old. I do not have a savings account in fiat dollars. I have an account with us. It's compounding gold coins. We have a lease program where currently you can get anywhere from 2 to 5% return on the number of coins, gold coins, silver coins, or gold backs you're vaulting per year. So that's not the dollar. Whereas gold has almost tripled in the last 3 years, you're getting more coins on top of that. So it's just an all-around better way to hold wealth in sound assets that are legal tender within the United States. And, it's going to beat any savings account you have out there. You'd have to get pretty damn lucky in the stock market to beat what gold and silver has done in the last few years.
Right. And I've even been with Mitchell for the last, 2 weeks. We've been team driving, and anytime we go to restaurants, anything, he's giving the waitresses and talking with people on these go backs, showing them. He's got, quite a few of them. He's given me one, and everybody's interested in it. I mean, when he talks about it, they're really interested. They're paying attention. They want them. A couple of the waitresses at one restaurant actually bought some off of them.
Yeah. I do the same. I always have them in my wallet when I get my check. You're not going to have luck selling or using these at Walmart or Target. They have them on their website. Walmart does at an extremely inflated price. So do not buy them from Walmart. But where this is going to work is the small businesses where you have an influencer nearby. I always have them in my wallet. Whenever I get my check, I'll ask, do you want cash or gold? Gold, what are you talking about? It's an entry to talk about sound money. And it's about a 50-50 shot. I've even had it with waitresses where, oh, I'm sorry, my boss isn't here. But most people have not held gold in their life because 1 ounce of coin is $4,300. It was $5,500 a couple months ago. It's such a heavy entry point, whereas $7.76, we even have a quarter gold back. That's $2 entry. So it's the cheapest entry into precious metals you're going to get. And who knows? I mean, we read about the revaluation of gold. What happens, when the dollar falls? Why is gold going up so much? It's had a little bit of a pullback lately, but the measuring stick of the dollar is dying. That's why. The gold's just holding its value.
Yep.
So how many measuring sticks is this worth? Who knows in the future? I have $1 trillion notes on my wall here in my office from dead fiat currencies that are worthless. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. It just no telling how long it's going to take. What kind of like accounting gimmicks they're going to try. Back in the 90s, they did it with the peso where they knocked a couple of zeros off, but it did not stop the inflation. Fiat dollars have a 100% failure rate in the history of our planet.
Yeah, they're used for systemic control.
Yeah,
is all they're used for. It's one of the biggest signs of political corruption and infrastructural corruption.
Yeah. If they can control the money, they can buy anybody. They can pay any politician. Anytime you see $90 million here, $80 billion there, they do not have any dollars. If you look at the debt clock, we're rounding up on $40 trillion in debt. That cannot be paid off. If they're broke, they don't have any money. They're just making new money in existence. It's like dumping monopoly boards worth of cash on top of each other. Everything doubles, triples, quadruples in price. And it makes it harder, and it steals your wealth. I have family members that have killed themselves literally working for these dollars that they can devalue overnight. And they own the money system. It's a big Ponzi scheme that they can create as much or as they want. They can crash the whole system tomorrow. Where do you want to put your wealth?
And this is the importance for every truck driver to get involved with this, because you guys look at how much we move around the country, like I've been doing, simply giving waitresses for a tip, or I've even had it where I've had waitresses go, well, how about I pay for your meal and you pay me back in those gold things?
Yep.
And I go, perfect. Yeah, we can do that. So, and that's kind of a roundabout way to do it. Or they wanted to buy them. And then I'm like, okay, well, then I'll take that cash and pay for my meal.
That's it.
So,
Go ahead, Mitch. Sorry.
Silver doesn't require much explanations with people on why it's a sound investment. People they remember, or, they have some sort of common sense about it to some degree, but they've never seen it where it's been spendable like cash, or it's been so easy to get in and invest in like this is at $2. You can own a gold back, and you can start your journey. And that makes gold accessible for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And our accounts, like I said, you can go, if gold backs are not your thing, we have gold eagles, gold buffaloes, silver eagles. Those have been around a long time. My grandfather could have spent a gold eagle, 1 ounce gold eagle for $20 or a $20 bill. They spent them back then. He could have taken any $20. The crazy thing is, if he would have taken 2 cigar boxes, filled one full of $20 gold coins, one full of $20 fiat dollars, now they're fiat, back then they weren't, you could have spent them exactly the same. They cost exactly the same. Bury them into the ground. You pull them up today. One's generational wealth. That's millions of dollars. It held its value through those years. the $20 bills, they're worth $20, and $20 is worth a hell of a lot less than it was in the 20s, 30s, 40s.
Oh yeah,
even just 10 years ago.
yeah.
So
Absolutely.
That's what I was getting at is we have those as an option to invest in as well. So if goldbacks aren't your thing, you can do gold eagles. Take it out of your savings account, put it. You can have an account with $50 in it. It doesn't. There's no minimum. There's no maximum. You're essentially just storing wealth in sound assets as opposed to the fiat dollar. Obviously, you can't withdraw $50 worth of a gold eagle until you build up to a full amount of a gold eagle to withdraw the physical coin, but it will follow the gold price just as a gold coin will. It's just holding your wealth in sound assets,
right?
As opposed to
and for those that say, oh, how does this work with like long distance transactions? Well, at Alpine Gold Exchange, you can get a trust account for free. Both parties can, and then you can actually just exchange metals digitally within the network. And it's pretty much instantaneous, isn't it, Bryan?
Yeah, it's immediate. It's like Venmo for gold, but you're sending them gold or silver or gold backs. And then let's say they don't want to vault them with us. They like them stuffed under their bed or whatever they want. They can pull them out if they just want to liquidate it.
Mail order.
We have that option as well. Obviously, I would never recommend everybody vault all their gold and silver just in case power goes out tomorrow. But we're here near Minnesota, and I had the biggest amount of Minnesotans come this way. They saw how fast everything went from zero to holy shit, and looting and rioting and breaking into houses. They don't want to lose that wealth, so they can keep it with us, compound and grow it instead of letting it all just sit in a safe collecting dust.
Yep.
You guys also have an app to show where the locations that do accept it. So that's a great tool to have as well.
Yeah,
you want to elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, Goldback Inc. has an app where you can download it. It's going to list out everybody that has said yes, we will accept the Goldback. Also, you can do all the transactions from the app. It tells you your daily exchange rate. You put in the U.S. dollar amount. You can switch it to Canadian, whatever form you want. You put how much your tab is or how much you're wanting to pay. It'll do all the work for you to tell you how many Goldbacks. Okay, here's how many Goldbacks I pay. Here's what they owe me in change in Goldbacks or fiat dollars. You can also save all these transactions in a log. But most importantly, you're going to be able to pull up a map that'll show you nearby who already has said that they will accept it. But like what Mitch is doing and what you guys are doing, this is why the truckers are so powerful. You guys get to talk to these mom and pop shops. There's not a lot of them left. And they're looking for ways to keep wealth in sound assets. Because, I mean, if they would have accepted these a couple of years ago, they would have almost doubled in value. And they get that, a smart business person. But you guys can find them a heck of a lot easier than I can. And even if it's just introducing them to them, maybe they aren't on the map, but they're sound money advocates. Maybe it's just for this one transaction, but then they could find a way to store wealth in sound assets for their family, for their future. We have options to set up beneficiaries. I'm terrified if something were to ever happen to me. My kids find my 1 ounce gold eagles. They save $50 on them. Well, they'd sell them for $50. Well, these accounts will tell you exactly what everything's worth. You can set it up beneficiaries without going through probate. It'll go directly to whoever you want it to go to, which is a huge option as well.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than life insurance. You don't have to deal with a health exam either.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and what are the rich people doing? I mean, they do not hold cash. They buy assets. They buy business. They buy land. Buy what's been around for 5,000 years. Gold, silver, and land. It's always been money. It's always been worth something. Fiat currencies have come and gone over and over and over again. People get hurt really bad when it happens because nobody can afford anything now. A house is out of reach for most young people. Childcare, groceries. That's by design. That's to strap you down and make you not pay attention to why the hell is this dollar worth so much less? Because they can literally make it. They don't even have to make physical dollars anymore. They just type it in. They can devalue it overnight.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Richard Nixon did a lot of damage to the U.S. dollar, him and his administration back in 1971, taking us off the gold standard.
Yeah.
It did irreparable harm to our economy and set forth the whole trajectory for all this happening to common everyday folks.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan, there's also one other aspect to the having an account and being a member of the UPMA trust. And talk a little bit about the leveraging that people can do, where they can actually leverage their balance and make themselves bankable.
So meaning like what I was talking about, you can compound and grow what you have within the account, so you can get a return on the amount of gold you have, and then also equity lines of credit. So if you don't want to liquidate, have to worry about tax implications. Let's say you bought gold at $1,700 an ounce. Now it's $5,000, $10,000. Who knows where it's going? You can do an equity line of credit with that gold. Be your own bank at that point. Don't go get a loan. Buy your own land. Pay it back. You get a low interest rate. You're paying back the metals. Does not constitute as a sale. And that's the real powerful thing. Be your own bank.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you're in charge of just basically paying yourself back.
That's it.
The interest goes to you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's the beautiful thing is if you're your own bank, if you want to feel more like a criminal than ever, go to your own bank tomorrow while they're not open tomorrow, Monday, and ask them for $5,000 of your own money cash. You will feel like the biggest criminal on the planet. What are you going to do with it? How fast do you need it? The real secret is there's not that much cash there. They have to lend it all out. And also, I mean, if you look at The Great Taking, read that book, watch that documentary. Ever since 2008, they put in all the red tape to be able to, whatever you deposit into your account at the bank is their property, not yours. They could take it to save their bank as a bail-in as opposed to a bailout, which is what we did in 2008. That probably will not happen.
Right.
Bail in, and that includes stocks that are denominated in dollars. Everything. I mean, anything dollar denominated dies when the dollar dies.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's it all helps complete the full story of what the mission of this is really about is to have a proper alternative infrastructure for the financial side of things in our everyday lives in a way that makes sense and that is sound. And that is a big reason why here at the American Transportation Cooperative, we seek to partner and affiliate with Alpine Gold and help our drivers understand the true power of sound money and to help us circulate it throughout the nation and to overall help this thing grow.
Yeah. Yeah, sound money is a popular thing. It's not a left or right thing. If you can put your hard-earned time into something that is a sound asset, has been a sound asset for 5,000 years. Like I said, we started our branch, it'll be 3 years ago in December. If you would have put any amount of money into our accounts, into gold or silver, you would have well tripled that amount by compounding it, whereas your dollar has done exactly the opposite. You can buy that much less with it from that time.
Absolutely. Yeah, how it's interesting to me. I remember first being introduced to like gold bullion through somebody that my mother was dating back when I was 18 years old. And this was back in 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
And I regret not starting in my accumulation back then because it was like $900 an ounce.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest common things you hear people objections with gold and silver is, oh, but the growth is slow. Not really. It's very moderate, and it's very it grows conservatively. It it grows at a pretty steady rate. And what's nice is when it does kind of reflect back down, and like right now, gold and silver are kind of down. That buyer's market is like it gives a nice big window of opportunity for folks to grab it.
Yeah.
Before it goes back up again. So it's just to me, it's the most perfect sound investment. Not that you can invest in other digital things or do what you want and take some more high risk things, but when you talk about growing to a wealth standpoint or being more financially sound, you have to have a firm foundation in all things that you build.
Yeah.
And time tested and proven. I mean, how many different societies is it going to take, throughout history to prove that gold and silver is the most time tested assets you can really find out there?
Yeah. It's always
Besides
been
land, obviously.
It's always been worth something, and it
Yep.
always will be worth something. The dollars of separate countries, like I said, I have $1 trillion notes that are worth nothing. And you said it. I mean, since 1971, good old Richard Nixon temporarily took us off the gold standard. We are still temporarily off of that gold standard. We lost 98% of our buying power of our dollar since then. Now,
Yeah.
there were times when it was better to be in dollars because it wasn't overinflated yet, 80s, 90s, times like that. But even still, like I have guys from the 80s that were probably truckers. I have a couple policemen that were buying it silver at $7 an ounce. And they came in here when silver was $120 an ounce. So obviously they have other investment options, but why the heck would you not look at something that's been around for 5,000 years? And it has the ability to make you a millionaire or your future. My kids. What is a dollar going to be worth in my kids? They're 6 and 4. When they're 30, it's going to be almost
Right.
worthless if we're not already in a digital system by then. They have it revved up, ready to go. They're just waiting for problem, reaction, solution. Well, who's going to be the
Absolutely.
boogeyman to destroy our economy, our dollar? Well, hey, by the way, we have AIs out there. You probably lost your job. That you guys are worried about the automated driving trucks. That's not by accident. At the worst time of the dollar in history. And then, oh, hey, by the way, we have this really cool system. It's a digital system, just revved up, ready to go on the side. And you lost your job. We'll give you some free tokens or whatever the hell it's called every month if you just go over here and start using it. It'll all sound great when you first start using it. And a digital currency could be a paradise. But as we see what our government does, it could also be a digital prison. And I would bet more towards digital prison because instant, immediate transactions that are free, cheap. You can tokenize things. You can sell a house, an immediate transaction, tokenize it. It sounds like paradise, and it'll be a very good, attractive thing to get into. But then you look at what's happened in China with the digital yuan. Here's your money. By the way, it has an expiration date. You cannot save it. And here's your geofence of where you can spend it. Oh, by the way, you said something on our social media platform. You're in timeout. Your money doesn't work for 2 weeks. We can see everything you've done. We can tax everything you do. That's the goal. And it's going to sound super attractive when it comes, but just be aware of what's happening, what you're stepping into.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the big things people got to keep in mind is, with all the automation, AI, tokenization, digitalization, they're going to make it seem very appealing that, even in ways you're going to be able to own your own piece of automation to make these digital incomes. You're going to be able to tokenize the labor of whatever automation you possibly own. But then there again, it's programmable. So, we see a lot of the news that talks about that, like the CBDCs, have been outlawed. Well, they just rebranded it underneath what they call stable coins. Yep. They made it so that way private corporations can essentially, the banking cartel can each have their own, and they'll compete against each other, and you'll operate in one stable coin or another based upon, what suits your situation the best. But ultimately, it's going to stay completely within their control again. and their program parameters versus the anonymity that everybody loves about cash. There's only one way to fix that, and we have to have a sound money alternative like this, a sound piece of infrastructure.
Yeah, and CBDCs are outlawed. You're correct, but this is no different than social media during COVID. Look, they're all private companies. Technically, the government does not own social media, Facebook, Twitter, X now, YouTube. They did not own them, but they all went lockstep with exactly what the government wanted. And that's what will happen with the crypto as well. No doubt you can make some money with crypto. There's going to be crypto coins that will go crazy. They're not going to tell you which ones. I have some lottery tickets. I'm spread out, diversify. Obviously, if digital's the way we're going, you might be able to make some money off it. But what if one of those lottery tickets hits for me? I'm going to put it into what's been around for 5,000 years. Land, gold.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah, it makes complete sense. So, yeah, we've been through this now. We've talked about the Alpine Gold Exchange and about the different various benefits and helping drivers and our supporters understand the importance of getting involved with this. So with that too, I don't know if you were able to go over while I was finishing up that load earlier, but go into some of the history, Bryan. How did you really get involved with Alpine Gold and the Goldbacks? Where did it meet you in life?
Yeah, so I've always been a nerd with this kind of stuff. So I graduated high school in 08, if that gives you an idea of oh 05. 08, Ron Paul ran for president, and he started talking about the Federal Reserve, inflation. I started looking into this stuff and how it's a Ponzi scheme. It's all manipulated. Everything is. And then I read Creature from Jekyll Island by G. Edward Griffin, and I got so mad I've been stacking ever since. Now, it met me in life. I used to do sales for, industrial equipments, pressure washers, sprayers, things like that. Always stacking on the side. Always big nerd into this stuff. They started a branch in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which is, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna jump on that. I've done some cool things. I was just telling you guys before this, I just got to go to Red Pill Expo, which is put on by G. Edward Griffin. He's 94 years old now. He was talking about this stuff when it was not cool. And everybody would call you crazy for buying gold and silver in the 80s, the 90s. He is that guy that saw all this coming. And his whole point is be educated so you can do something about it. We don't have to sit back. Whether it's politics, whether it's your freedoms, whether it's your wealth, do something about it. Because if you're just going to sit there and wait for the world to collapse around you, you're going to be working from a fear aspect, and you're not going to be prepared for what's coming. And you truckers, every single one that I've met is so like-minded, freedom-minded. They just want to be left alone. They want to be earning something that's going to stay worth something they can pass down to the family. So they just fit so perfectly into what we do. And you guys are dealing with all the automation, all the BS of that stuff. So you can see how things can change so fast. And I grew up in the Midwest. I know a lot of truckers. So I got into this. I've met some amazing people, some of my heroes. Not met Ron Paul yet, but he did our address. The whole company, just so you know how this all started. My big boss is Larry Hilton. He penned the very first legal tender laws in the United States. That was back in, I think, 2013, 2014. So the first legal tender laws, you can pay debts public and private in cash or gold and silver. He penned those laws in Utah. They were the first state to pass it. And now I think there's like 15 to 12 states that have passed it ever since. But once we passed it, okay, we need an option for people. If you want to store wealth in legal tender, sound money, that's how we all started. And then from there, a guy that was a teller of ours came up with the idea for the gold back in 2019, Jeremy Corden, and it's been the most popular gold product on the planet since 2020, and it's been fast growing because how the heck are you going to get into gold for $2-3? This one's $7 and $8. My kids love them. It's Willy Wonka's golden ticket. Sound money. It's
Exactly.
a popular thing, and I have a lot of young kids. If you watch, there are a lot of any young kid that's into crypto. Why are they into crypto? Because anything but the dollar, they get this stuff. They understand why. That you would want to be in anything but the dollar, because the dollar is dying, and they've seen generation after generation. They've heard the horror stories of, how retirement worked out for grandpa after working, his whole entire life for something, and look at how they've increased the price of everything to make it not worthwhile in the long run. That's going to get worse.
Absolutely.
So let's check with Ignacio since he's back. Been popping in and out.
I don't know if you
You
guys
there,
can hear
Ignacio?
me or not.
Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't know. I live over here by the mountains, so my reception's not well right now.
Yeah.
You got any questions or input? I know you've been popping in and out, but you've heard Mitch talk about it quite a bit.
Well, I'm new to all this. I know it's a good alternative because a lot of people have lost their shirt with I don't know if it was Bitcoin or crypto. Uh, so I know there's a lot of ignorance about alternative currency, but also the scary stories about Bitcoin or crypto, where they had like a little recession not too long ago where they lost billions. My question to you would be is what are you doing to educate the country for this other form of alternative currency? Uh, I believe it's super important because right now we're running into this issue here about you charging us 2 or 3% for swiping our cards as well. That's a lot of money to be given back when swiping our cards, and most of the countries using the cards. So, what do you have alternative to that? That's something that affects us daily.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, the alternative is to spend cash, and a lot of freedom-minded people want to spend cash. They don't want a trail. It's none of your damn business what I bought, how much I paid for it. But the problem is they're edging that out. They're not accepting cash. COVID and cash was dirty. That's why this is here. Is the gold alternative in sound asset where you can keep that between me and you. We can do a private transaction now. Like you said, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all this stuff, all the cryptos, it's at the height. There's going to be a bloodbath in crypto like nobody's ever seen. There's still a fart coin. There's a whatever coin. It's a wild west. There'll be a few that win. Just be careful what you're buying, where you store it, because again, the whole point of it being even worse than our fiat dollars, where it's just completely digital. Where are you storing it? Who has access to it? They put the real ID information, digital ID stuff. You're not going to be able to move it without having your digital ID. Who's holding it for you? Do you have it? Do you know how to work a wallet and have it in your safe? What are you going to do with it after it does go crazy? Bitcoin is BTC. It's the beta test coin. If you really think about it, it was probably created by the government. You can actually find papers to prove that. How do you think people would go for this? Well, people have, and they will. And there's going to be cryptos that go crazy. There is so much benefit to crypto. That digital transaction, in an immediate digital transaction, look how much it costs to transfer money. You just mentioned the 3.5-4% fee for a card. You can send trillions of dollars in seconds and pay almost nothing with digital. That's why we're going digital. But there's a lot of other stuff that goes with that. That's where the real ID stuff comes in. When you have to show everything you're making. There's no privacy whatsoever. That's why, obviously, we can't do much about where we're going there. We can stand up and tell them what we don't want, but also the best option for you, if you're worried about this, is to opt out. Spread your wealth out. If you keep it all in dollars, if you kept $1 million back in the back room, you could sit there and watch the value go down based on the price of everything. So it's like, what are you going to do with it? What assets are you going to turn it into? Because that's what wealthy people do. They purchase assets. They do not have the dollars because of exactly what we're talking about. Fiat dollars inflate, and you lose value the longer you hold them. So I don't know if I answered your question. I get on rants, but crypto, you can make a lot of money. There's going to be a heck of a lot of money flowing into crypto. But they've already picked the winners. They know what they are. They're not going to tell you. And, you look at how fast it's not going to be Bitcoin. Bitcoin's too old, too slow, too expensive to move funds. It's the first one, that beta test coin, BTC. What are they moving to? I don't know for sure. I have a few picks, but if you want to secure your wealth, because if it does go digital, your dollar just became worthless, and they'll give you a certain amount of time to turn it into digital world. They'll give you not as much as a dollar's worth right now for it as well. They'll give you a window, but assets are always going to be worth something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of the economists are talking that it could be in as little as 5 years. We look at going, away from the United States dollar, cash, fiat.
Well, already, I mean, just last month, before, it's also manipulated. It's all paper. You can manipulate prices of things with paper gold, paper silver for so long. But just last month, right before we had a little bit of a fall for gold and silver, it was announced that the most widely owned sound asset on the planet for every central bank on this planet is gold. It overpassed the dollar. They can see what the dollar is going to do.
Yep.
All it takes is Japan, the people that are holding a whole bunch of dollars, because for the longest time we were the reserve asset for the whole planet. You needed dollars in order to buy oil from Saudi Arabia. We had that deal worked out. Well, that's not the case anymore. They're accepting other currencies. Look at what the British nation are doing. They're looking to come out with their own currency. Rumor is backed by assets, gold, silver, oil. They will win if they bring that out, because everybody's going to jump to a sound currency as opposed to ours. They'll send all of our dollars back and sell them to us. And if you want to see hyperinflation like what happened in Germany after World War I, where they were burning wheelbarrows of cash because it was cheaper than coal for furnaces, that's the world we could be heading into, that hyperinflation world.
Yeah. Now let's also talk that there is a side to the United States dollar, and it's the one and only thing I think that even keeps it constitutional anymore, and that's the coinage.
Mm-hmm.
Coinage will still always be worth face value. And, we're going to have to use that as far as solving the odd sense of a gold backed transaction, and so your coinage is always going to be worth its face value. And, can be, a side storage thing, save you change.
Especially anything pre 1964. They literally put the silver into the coins. You could probably buy the same amount of gas for a quarter if you have a 1963 quarter than you could have been back then. That's the whole point of the sound money. And we've gone away from that. It's generations back. My grandfather's generation, if you would have told him that we were using these green pieces of paper and you could not turn it back into gold and silver, they would have called us idiots. Like, the whole point is that you could, because the paper is worthless. It's like they valet parked all of our cars at an expensive hotel. We're trading valet tickets. They took the cars a long time ago. They just don't tell you that. And it'll go for so long. They can keep the scheme going. But look at the debt clock, usdebtclock.org. Literally, we're up to $40 trillion almost in debt. You can see how they've done the math, how much a 1 ounce of gold should be based on the amount of debt, how much 1 ounce of silver should be. It's all manipulated. and you cannot pay back that debt. It is impossible. So it is a Ponzi scheme that we are forced to live in. So that's why you got to do what's best for you, because when Ponzi scheme goes down, they do not have your best interest in heart. They'll act like they're your best friend, and hey, we have this great thing for you to run to, but just remember what you're giving up freedom wise. Just like what happened in 9/11. Look how complicated it is to fly on a plane, all the traveling, all that stuff. They had a reason to bring in all this stuff, and that's where digital ID comes in. When they have a digital currency, guess what's going right behind it is a digital ID.
Yep. Absolutely. And let's talk about some incentive behind getting involved with Alpine Gold, guys. You can see the information going across the banner, and if you happen to call Bryan, make sure you tell him that the American Transportation Cooperative sent you, and ATC will get some credit for that. But let's talk about some incentive to get involved, guys. I want to put something in perspective for you. Right now, the current price of gold is sitting between about $4,100 to $4,200 an ounce, and the price of silver is between $60 to $70 an ounce. You guys, if we stay at this current trajectory, where the next 5 years we could see the United States dollar failing, there's been many statements by economists that have said gold will see somewhere between $25,000 to $50,000 an ounce. Silver will see between $800 to $1,200 an ounce. So, take action now, and in the next 5 years, your whole financial world can be different, and you can be self-reliant, knowing that you're participating in an alternative system of sound money. You don't have to worry about your money being taken away, being held digitally hostage, and you don't have to be held hostage to that digital system of control.
At least give yourself options. I mean, they're working on the digital side. It could be 5 years. It could be 2 months. Nobody knows. They're working on the Clarity Act. That's digital clarity on how banks can use digital money. They're working and they're putting in all the infrastructure. And when that goes live, it could be the next day. And they'll have somebody to blame it on, something that caused the crash of our dollar or the economy or the stock market. It could be 5 years. It could be, it could be tomorrow. Nobody really knows. But the U.S. Mint just released commemorative 250 anniversary 1 ounce Liberty Bell coins, they call them. 1 ounce of gold is $20,000. It's 1 ounce. They're selling them for $20,000. Silver's, I think, $2,000 to $3,000 an ounce. What are they telling you? Why is the premium so high? Maybe they're forecasting something, but you're right.
Absolutely, they are.
Yeah, why would the U.S. Mint get away with selling something that's got $4,000, $4,100 worth of gold in it for $20,000? What are they showing you? It's just pay attention, because just this time, a couple of years ago, it was $1,700 an ounce. Everybody was telling you how expensive it was, and now it's got to drop. Yeah, it goes up and down, but look at the long term. Go back in the chart. Set some wealth aside in something that's going to be around.
I love it when gold and silver is actually down, because then it's on sale.
I'm buying, especially silver. I started buying when it was like $17 an ounce, $20 an ounce. I'm doing great at it's 60. It was 120 just a couple of months ago, and there's nothing that has changed about our economy one bit. If anything, it's worse. We're in a war now that we can't get out of, and it's one of those things where nothing has changed. Silver is the most industrial metal, probably the most suppressed metal on the planet. It's been $20 since the 80s, basically. But it's in every electric vehicle, every solar panel, everything that's electronic. It's antimicrobial, it's health benefits. It's so much more industrial than gold ever could be, and it's
copper too.
Cheaper. Yeah, and it's the cheapest one to get into. So whether it's we sell, whether you work with us or not, just for your own benefit, get into some of it. You might lose. One day it might drop 5%, 10%, but zoom out. Look at what you would have been if you would have done it 2 years ago.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
Now somebody like me that just thanks to Mitch just came across this alternative currency system. Uh, do you have any videos on YouTube, on Facebook, anything that can teach us, somebody like me that wants to study the system, the benefits of Alpine Gold? Do you have any maybe educational videos or information that somebody like me that is slow to read, slow to
Yeah.
understand, but would like to get educated on this?
oh yeah.
Yeah, go to alpinegold.com. There's tons of information you can read, click through. But I do my best work, and I understand things correct the most when I can talk to a human being. My number is scrolling across the top. My email address. Ask a question. There's no stupid question when it comes to this. Pick it apart. If it's for you, great. If it's not for you, go buy some gold and put it in your truck, or whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Yep.
Put it under your mattress. Do something to protect
Yep.
your wealth. If it's with us or it's not. Goldback.com is another way to learn the most about the gold-backed currency. You go there, you're going to be able to see all of the different options for you can spend it. The history of it, what all the different versions of the gold-backed note means. There's tons of information. Mike Adams is one of our biggest supporters. He did a whole series on melting these goldbacks down to make sure that what is in it is in it. There's a lot of videos out there.
Yeah, Alpine Gold Exchange on YouTube. There's several different hour-long discussions about it.
Yeah.
You can listen to while you're going down the road. It's all very accessible and easy to understand, easy to get involved with. And that's all it takes is you start getting involved and you help start spreading them out.
Yeah.
And
then email me or call me.
now we're at a point now where on the Goldback app there's more businesses physically across the United States that accept Goldback than there are places that accept Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's more than any crypto in our country. People are accepting Goldbacks, so it is growing. It's grassroots. It takes you guys being like, "Hey, do you accept Goldback? Let me tell you about it. Do you want more information? Here, call Bryan. Call this dude in South Dakota. He'll talk to you for 2 hours about it. Explain it to you. You bring him in. You're basically creating your own community. There are whole desert communities out there. This is their currency. You can keep it within your community. You see all the signs: spend cash, keep the wealth within your community. This is that on steroids. And so you guys are traveling the whole country. If you can find the places that need the help, even if it's not for the Goldback, if it's, hey, what are you going to do with this stuff? You have these young kids. What are you going to save for them? Is it going to be green pieces of paper? Just get them into precious metals, whether it's us or not, because it's going to get rough for a lot of people.
Yep. Well, everybody, we're kind of rounding the. We've been on here for about an hour. We typically kind of get wrapped up. So, any further final questions?
Well, it's important just for us to get educated because remember, like we kind of have a community now, the Spanish speaking community. Even though most of them do speak English, I'm pretty sure in our culture with our community, if I hadn't heard of this alternative system, it's better to educate ourselves so we can pass it forward to them. There are 12,000 already members of this community engaged in the trucking industry. And there is a community where we can come in there and talk about this. So before we can do that, we have to definitely qualify ourselves and educate ourselves to be able to tell them about this. So this is a great opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is going to be the first of many trucking podcasts we hope to help you get involved with, Bryan,
Yeah.
and help us be part of the force of educating drivers on sound money and what they can do to protect their future against the looming digital currency battle. So with that, Chris, do we have anything final we want to go over, or are we looking to close?
So one thing I wanted to add in is while you guys were talking, I actually went and signed up for an account for Alpine Gold, just like I said I would.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty straightforward. They're just asking, basic information, whether you got a business or not. You know, they do verify identity, which is good.
Hmm. And
That way, no
that's
one.
in case we need to send funds through like a wire or things like that. That is the only reason we
But
need. You can
Yep.
do it digitally, or we can do it privately as well if you email me. But it's that quick. No social security number. Nobody asks you for that, and you can set up an account for free to see what it looks like. And if it's for you, great. If it's not for you, Ignacio, you said get educated. Where I would start is buy gold and silver. Start there. There's a billion videos on why you should hold gold and silver instead of the numbers. Start there. Educate yourself why sound assets, and then there's plenty of options out there. We're one of many. Educate yourself. What do you want to do with it? Do you want to hold it for the next generation? Do you want to spend it? As long as you're getting into sound money, that's all that matters.
Yes, I believe in it because I know we're in trouble with the U.S. currency. Where during this war, I learned that many countries they used to use America as a transitional bank. They're working to go around it, and we're being eliminated for international trade as U.S. represented transactions, and we're losing power on that. So with us getting that revenue from being the middleman, now I believe the U.S. dollar is going to get weaker. So I believe in your system.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean it's already happened in other countries. Mexico with the peso in the 90s, they did the same thing. They revalued the peso. They knocked off a couple of zeros, so your coffee went from 900 pesos to 9 pesos, but it still continued to inflate. So if you would have had assets previous to the accounting gimmick of knocking a couple of zeros off, it does not solve the problem. It just makes it look a little better, and then
Quantitative easing.
Yeah, it's all an accounting gimmick. They've done it many times. Every fiat currency has 100% failure rate eventually.
Yep. All right. Well, hey, thanks, Chris, for taking the initiative and getting yourself signed up. Bryan will make sure we'll go into the back end and make sure that gets connected so the co-op gets credit.
Yep.
And everything will continue to go forward from here. And Bryan, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you for being available for the co-op and for helping be a part of this series of education for drivers on sound money. Ignacio, if we've got good audio, you want to give us a closeout?
Yeah, and apologize for that. There's a lot going on over here with the internet, but yeah, thank you, Father, for allowing this place for us to be educated to find out different alternatives of managing our lives. No, not only for ourselves, for our generations to come. Father, you have said that there's 3 generations of curses, 3 generations of blessings. Give us the wisdom and knowledge so we can pass it on to our 3rd generation, Father. Today we give you thank you. We give you praise and glory for having Bryan out here trying to teach us, educate us about alternative currency. We've seen the challenges. We mentioned the 3%. We mentioned that dollar might be in trouble here in the future. But we want to thank you for the space. We want to thank you for the opportunity to get here together to share things for common good. And we hope and pray that you bless us with all we do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. All
Thank
right,
you.
guys.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I love everything you're doing. If I can help anybody, please, my email's right there. Grill me with the questions. Try to catch me in something. If it's for you, if it's great, if it's not, that's great too. I'm here for anybody that wants to chat about this.
Absolutely. And Bryan, make sure that you're over on our the American Transportation Co-op Facebook page.
Yep.
And make sure you get in there, submit your invitation. We'll get you in there, and feel free to post, some weekly content on different tips and pointers for drivers on Sound Money.
Sounds good, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank
Safe
you.
travels, please.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
coming
Bryan.
on, and we'll get you into a board meeting here soon to see if we're going to set up the co-op
Cool.
account.
Sounds good, guys. Well, thank you so much. Safe travels. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
All
Enjoy
right.
your weekend.
Yep. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yeah, appreciate you being on here. That was a lot of good information there.
Yeah. Thank you, Moonshine. Hopefully, I didn't put you to sleep. I don't know. How much you're drinking yet.
No, I've only been up since like 5 o'clock this morning, so.
Oh shit. Well, get some rest. The wife's driving. Hopefully it smooths out so you can sleep.
She's got me
All right.
scraping back here. I got to cook dinner.
There you go. All right, I'm gonna go get some dinner too. So have a good night, guys.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Everybody have a good night. Thanks for joining. We do this every Saturday, 4 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Standard or Mountain Standard, and then 6 o'clock Central and 7 o'clock Eastern every Saturday. Join us next week. Everybody have a good night.
Good night. Thank you.